Hey guys! So as you can see, the title of the video is Cna to Lvn and was it worth it? Let's start with yes, it was definitely worth it. If you have always wanted to pursue a job in the healthcare field, I highly suggest working your way up the chain. It makes you a much better nurse, which I'm not saying that people who weren't Cna first or Lvn first aren't good nurses. I've definitely met, good nurses that weren't Cnas or Lvns, but a mass majority of the wonderful nurses I've met, they were a Cna or an Lvn first, because you get your basics. So let's start with, I was a Cna. I became a Cna in 2009. I just had my son. I was 18 years old. He was 4 months old, I think. And I ended up getting a job where my friend was working. She got me a job, and they actually did the Cna classes in the nursing home that I was going to work at. So I can't remember how long the course was, but it wasn't long, and I got paid to do it. I got paid for the hours that I was there. I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket, which was awesome. I'm very blessed for that, because I was an 18-year-old, just had a baby and definitely didn't have any money. So it really worked out. I continued to be a Cna for 6 years. 5 of those years were in a skilled nursing facility, and the last year I ended up getting a job at the hospital, which was amazing. Highly suggest working in the hospital if you're a nursing student. I highly suggest that you work in a hospital if you are in nursing school. You learn so much. They call you clinical assistants, at least down here in Texas they do. You do everything. You do the blood draws, you do the AccuChecks, you empty all the drains, you get to learn all about the drains, you monitor intake and output. You do a whole bunch of skills that you learn when you're in nursing school, and it's awesome. You see everything. I ended up getting a job on the med-surg floor, so you see everything on there, everything on that floor. It really helped me in nursing school, because I went to a vocational school, and you don't get any good clinical sites. It's not where I went to school. It was a vocational school. It wasn't a community college, and the community colleges, they all got the hospital's sites for the LVN. So we're in a lot of nursing homes, which you don't see a lot of your skills that you're supposed to do. You see skills, but it just depends on the patients that are there. The clinical sites I went to, except for one place, there wasn't that many skills to learn there, which sucked. So getting a job at the hospital was definitely a blessing. And you know what? I can get an IB really quickly because of my skills learning how to draw blood and getting that experience drawing blood. I'm a really good stick. Thank goodness. It helps me a lot now. So I did that for almost a year, and then I had to quit because over here LVNs don't get hired in the hospitals, and so I knew that I wasn't going to be able to continue my job there, and I wanted to focus on passing my NCLEX. I knew that I couldn't continue working at the hospital, just like I said, because down here in Texas they don't hire LVNs in hospitals. So I ended up having to quit that job. I got to stay home for 2 months. I got to study for my NCLEX. I'll probably do another story time about my NCLEX experience, just because I don't want to make this video super long. So I ended up quitting that job and just staying home the last 2 months of school, finish passing my exams, focus on that, and focus on, studying for the NCLEX. So it worked out. But I knew that I wanted to be a nurse. When I was a Cna, I was very active with the nurses. I always asked for them to show me how to do stuff. I always offered to do things for them. I paid attention to what they did, and I always asked questions about everything, because I was so intrigued by taking care of people, and I knew that that's what I really wanted to do. The main reason that I went to get my LVN and not my RN is because, one, I had my son, which when I started school he was 4, and I had just had my daughter and she was 4 months. And CNA salary, it is not livable. Honestly, it's livable, but it's really hard paycheck to paycheck. You never really have extra money. It's a struggle. After I had my daughter, it really put it into perspective how little my paychecks were. So I knew that I needed to make a change, and I was sitting on my couch one day and I saw a commercial for a vocational school that they had just opened up. I was really interested. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. So I went the next day. I went to the school, I talked to them. They, take you to go take an entry test. It was how many? 50 questions. You have to answer as many questions in 12 minutes as you can. And that's the first test. Once you pass that test, you would go do your HESI test. Was it HESI? Not your HESI. It was like a HESI test. It had your math, your science, reading, and writing on it. So I took the 12-minute test. They came and got me, and they're like, oh, you did so, at these kind of schools, they always boast you up and try to make it like you're gonna do so great, blah, 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 just because honestly, vocational schools, they want your money. Super expensive because you're paying for convenience, everything's included. So anyways, they come, they tell me I passed the test, and they're like, okay, you have one more test to take, it's 3.5 hours, blah, 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 blah. So luckily my mom was watching my kids, so I called her, I'm like, hey mom, I passed the test, they're asking if I can stay and do a 3.5 hour test. Mom said yeah. So I did it on the spot. I took the 3.5 hour test and I passed it. I don't remember what score I got. All I remember, like I said, they were boasting me up. You're gonna do so great in school. Your scores were great, blah, 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 which, later on I found out they were telling all the other students that too. But I mean, it made me feel good at the moment. So thanks to the lady that was making my head big from that. That was it. And I started maybe 2 months later. My course ended up being 3 days a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays for 4 hours from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. It would be my lecture, and then every Saturday it would be a 12-hour clinical. So I did that for 22 months, I think. It was supposed to be an 18-month program, but I don't know, with like days of I don't know, it was really weird. It ended up being 22 months, and it was a very, very, very hard 22 months. Like I said, when I started nursing school, my daughter was 4 months old. My son was 4. He had just started pre-K, and the pre-K was only for 2 hours a day. It was hard, you guys. It was really hard. I worked overnight. I worked from 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. My boyfriend, he would go to work in the morning, and so as soon as I got home, he would leave for work. So that would leave with the kids. Oh my gosh, you guys. I was literally living off 2 hours of sleep a day. I got addicted to caffeine, I got addicted to sugar, and I got addicted to food, pretty much, because I was so tired. And I don't know if anyone can relate, but when you're really tired, you're hungry, you're starving. You can eat and you're still hungry because you're so tired. It was ridiculous, and it honestly became my new norm. It's terrible. I gained a lot of weight. You guys. I had my daughter, and I was doing so good. I was like the smallest I had been in forever. Maybe I'll insert pictures or something and you guys can see that. Well, I don't know if I will because it's really embarrassing. But I was doing so good, you guys. I had lost so much weight. I'm so mad at myself. In nursing school, I gained 50 pounds, you guys. 50 pounds. The weight gain in nursing school is real because you're so stressed out and you're on the go all the time, you guys. And you just eat. You eat, and you bond with your classmates like that too. You go eat all the time. You go get coffee, you go on breaks, and you get snacks, and it's like a bonding way also, just eating. And oh gosh, you guys, I gained 50 pounds, and I've gained more since then. It's probably another story time too, and I'm hoping to get on my journey and fix myself because I'm not happy right now. But like I said, that's another video. The schedule was insane, but you know what? I did it. And I always tell people this: if I can do that, live off of 2 hours of sleep a day, work full time, and take care of the kids, you guys can do it too. Anyone can do it. You just got to put your mind to it. You just have to put your mind to it, and you can do it. It was definitely worth it. I'm so blessed that I'm a nurse now. I love taking care of people. I just love it. I love being there for people when they need me. I'm currently in a long-term care facility. I love the job that I got as my first job, you guys. I was really lucky with pay. I was really lucky with the amount of skills that I've learned. Like, I feel like I've learned so much. I definitely recommend getting your LVN if you want to become a nurse. You can... Oh, I got scared. I should have went. Oh well, the guy behind me is probably mad. Gosh, the construction on this road is insane. I already forgot what I was saying. I definitely recommend you getting your LVN, especially if you're a mom. If you're a mom and you're struggling, get your LVN first, because you know what? Then you have a great paycheck that you could support your family on and go back to school. That's my plan. I need to go back to school. I'm planning on it. If you can go straight for your RN, you should do it. You should do it and just get it all over with. If you have obstacles in your life that makes it not doable to go get straight to your RN, LVN is great, you guys. You learn so much. And you know what I heard? I heard that LVN school is harder than RN school, because when you start LVN school, you literally you're starting from zero. You're starting from absolute zero. Most people have not taken A&P class, nothing. You have knowledge, you guys, but you don't have the basics. When you go into RN school, you have the basics already. So I heard it's easier. I'm praying that it is. Nursing school is information overload. It's a lot at one time, but you know what, guys? It's doable. If I did it, you can definitely do it. I hope I touched all the points. I've been wanting to film this video forever, but it's like my first ever video that I'm filming, so I feel really nervous talking to you guys, especially like the camera, and I'm not used to being like on camera and watching myself. It's really weird. And it's really weird talking to yourself. Basically, if you are a Cna and you want to get your LVN, do it. Do it. You will not regret it. I'm gonna make another video about my NCLEX experience and how I prepped for it and got ready. Probably do tips on how I got through nursing school. I'm sure a lot of you will find it really funny, my tactic I used to make it through nursing school. But at the time, it was really, that was my only way that I could make myself like focus and not freak out. It's a funny story. I'll film that video for you guys. All right, thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye.